as being grounded in Game 1, determination became Winnipeg's watchword, while Vancouver was determined to get their big guns scoring. That production had to come from the reunited trio of Jeff Courtnall, Trevor Linden, and Cliff Ronning, and they didn't disappoint. Similar to Game 1, the Canucks jumped out in front. Linden made the hit, and Ronning scored the goal, his 16th playoff marker in 21 postseason games for Vancouver. But in the second, Sergei Boutin's blunder put a pass right on Jeff Courtnall's stick, and it was 2-0 Canucks. But like Game 1, back came Winnipeg, but with the Grinders providing the offense, scoring 2 of the Jets' 4 series goals. And Domi has been perhaps the Jets' best player this series. He brought his team within a goal Wednesday when his wrist shot surprised Kirk McLean, and the Jets trailed by just 1 after 2 periods of play, and got even half a minute into the third on Teppo Numanen's power play tally. Teemu Selanne set it up, but has yet to score, while Vancouver fans were wondering where their scoring ace had gone. But suddenly, he appeared. Pavel Bure, inconspicuous most of the night, was left alone thanks to Igor Ulanov to make a move few could make. It turned out to be the game winner as the Russian rocket finally took off, putting all pressure aside.
No, I don't feel really pressure because it's playoff time. It's different kind of games. It's I'll be happy if my team gonna win all the games and I'm not scoring. So it's a team game, and I take care about my team.
And while Pavel Bure found the mark, the Finnish flash has yet to ignite. Just 1 assist in the first 2 games. Teemu Selanne moved from line to line, while room to move was at a premium. Whether it was a tackle by Tim Hunter at one point, the Canucks did a terrific job of tying him up, albeit at times an unlawful job. Try this one on as Gerald Didick takes Selanne out of the play and then just gives him a chop for good measure, just to tie him up. But unlike Game 1, at least in Game 2, Selanne did get some premium scoring chances, only to be stopped.
At first game, we didn't play very well, but I think in game number 2 we played a lot better, and when you give what you have, that has to be enough.
So it's now Vancouver on the road, but with a 2-game lead, while Winnipeg hopes the road back in this series comes with the help of noise. We look at the Manitoba Legislative Building Game 3 of this Slice semifinal between the Canucks and Jets on what has been a beautiful, warm day in Winnipeg. But tonight, a different story. A whiteout has arrived as the tradition continues. Good evening and welcome to Molson Hockey Night in Canada and the Stanley Cup playoffs on CBC, where Jets fans are all dressed up in their favorite color of April. You can call it white hot or white power. It all translates into white noise. Very deafening white noise. I hope you can hear me. You'll remember back in 1987 when the Winnipeg Jets took on the Calgary Flames. It was at that time that Flames fans, they basically became a sea of red. And at that time, Winnipeg fans adopted white as their favorite color. Back in the days of John Ferguson, days when the Winnipeg Jets took on the Montreal Canadiens, fans here used to dress up in tuxedos. Well, there aren't tuxedos anymore when they arrive here in Winnipeg. No, this time they dress up in white, perhaps cone heads, but at least they come dressed. Jets fans are all very, very supportive. It has become quite the tradition here in Winnipeg. Winnipeg fans hoping all the white and all the noise will get their team pumped up. But as so often happens, like we've seen in Chicago Stadium, the visitors, the Vancouver Canucks here, will tell you it gets them pumped up as well. 2 guys who are obviously very pumped up tonight. Let's go up to the broadcast booth. Here are Steve Armitage and John Garrett.
Thank you, Kenny. Hi, everyone. I hope you've got your earplugs because you're going to need them tonight, especially if the Teemu Selanne line kicks into high gear.
Well, it has to get going, and Alexei Zhamnov is the key to that line. Selanne's struggled in the first 2 games, and a lot of it has to do with his centerman. He's a very creative player. He can create open ice, and when Selanne does get that open ice, everybody's seen what he can do. But Zhamnov's not playing very well, and that limits Selanne's chances.
One of the things that I think has really hurt the Winnipeg Jets in Game 1 and again in Game 2, costly turnovers.
Well, when you're not scoring, you just can't afford to turn the puck over in your own zone, and especially when you're the last man back. Sergei Boutin brings the puck back into his own zone, little soft backhand pass. and Corton will put it away, and that turned out to be the game winner. And in game one, the same thing happened. You just can't do that, especially when you're not scoring.
At the beginning of this series, Jim Sandlak was listed as a doubtful starter for Vancouver because of a hand injury. Now he's out of the lineup for another reason.
Well, he's got back spasms. He's had a history of back problems, and now Sandlak's out. He's played very well. And listen to the crowd here. This is going to help the Winnipeg Jets.
It is white noise here at the Winnipeg Arena. We are set for Game 3 in this Smythe Division semifinal. You're watching Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Shot so far, and he has a sparkling 2.00 goals against average. Bob Essenza doing the same at the other end of the ice, making his third straight start for the Winnipeg Jets. His goals against average 3.56. He's faced 65 shots. The referee tonight, Kerry Fraser. Working the lines will be Gord Brossiker and Dan Shakti. The opening face-off for game number 3. Winnipeg Jets down 2-0 against the Vancouver Canucks.
And already Pat Quinn doing some line juggling early in this game. Trevor Linden playing center with Sergio Momesso and Gary Volk. And Kerry Fraser's got his hand up already. And here we are, we're 14 seconds into this one, and we're going to have our first penalty.
A number of key lineup changes tonight for the Vancouver Canucks. Yuri Slager is dressed as the 7th defenseman. We thought Dixon Ward and Gino Ojic might be dressed for the Vancouver Canucks, but they're not. Jim Sandlak, as we mentioned at the beginning, is out with an injury. We're getting our first penalty of the game.
And it's Gary Volk for high sticking, as Volk's assignment in games 1 and 2 was to shadow Teemu Selanne. And it wasn't really a shadow, it was more of a line matchup and a defensive pairing, a team defense against Selanne, but Volk was the closest player, gets a high sticking penalty.
So Jets coach John Paddock will get his first look at his power play unit in game number 3 here at the Winnipeg Arena. He's got Selanne, Jamnoff at center, Darren Shannon on the right side. Housley and Olofsson are the point men. Dana Merzen shoots it in. Olofsson gets a piece of it. Semenov chasing into the corner. Jets come up. This is Shannon. Early seconds, opening period here in Winnipeg, game 3. Back to the point. Housley shot, tipped in front. McLean made the save off of Shannon in front.
And one of Kirk McLean's biggest strengths is his ability to read the play. He read that tip-in try by Darren Shannon all the way and got down to make the save. Housley with the interception. Now look at Shannon. McLean can see him all the way. He knows Shannon's there. Gets down early and makes the save. You see a veteran goaltender like McLean and they say, well, he guesses. I tend to disagree. I think he reads the play so well. He anticipated and was right there to make that save.
Minute 36 remaining in the penalty to Gary Volk. High sticking. Face-off to the left of Kirk McLean in the Canucks zone. Back to Olofsson at the point. Slides it over to Housley. Housley's shot and cleared by the Canucks the length of the ice. Housley leaves it and then decides to take it himself. Housley dumps it into the left-hand corner. McLean plays it. Lays it for Babbage. Canucks can't clear the zone. This is Selanne. Shot save, McLean. Jamnoff back to the point. Housley can't keep it in. Has to bring it back to center ice. The veteran, Dave Babbage, plays it off the boards. Olofsson for Winnipeg. 45 seconds remaining in the penalty to Volk. Olofsson decides to shoot it in, goes off the stick of Lume. McLean plays it. Oh, a dangerous pass in front. Selanne was cruising there, couldn't get to it though. And the puck is cleared by the Canucks. Housley being watched by Greg Adams. Housley turning in his own zone. Backhand pass, rink wide. This is Tkachuk, and Tkachuk took himself offside.
And Dan Shakti made the call. The Jets didn't like it. Keith Tkachuk shaking his head. He wanted to drop the pass. Canuck forward lines, the Gortnall line, been the best line for Vancouver. They've dressed 7 defensemen as Jim Sandlack is out, and as you mentioned, Steve, Yuri Slager is the 7th defenseman dressed tonight. And there you see the matchups. Didick and Babbage, they tried to play those two against Teemu Selanne in games 1 and 2, and they were very effective. And you see Sandlack out with the back injury. I thought Gino Ojic might see some action tonight, but took the pregame skate and was a late scratch.
10 seconds remaining in the Winnipeg power play. Ulanov keeps it in. Here's a chance. Tkachuk shoots. Save. McLean. Shot. Another save. Oh, boy. Teppo Numminen had an excellent opportunity. Couldn't put it behind McLean. There's a shot and a save by Essenza. Teams now at even strength. Murray Craven in front. Slides it through the crease. Tkachuk takes a hard hit from Merzen. This is Jyrki Lume. Dumps it in. Ulanov picks it up on the right boards. Tries to find Tkachuk. This is Pavel Bure. Bure shot save. Essenza.
Again, a turnover by the Winnipeg Jets at their own blue line as Ulanov threw a blind pass across. And Bure with a good scoring chance. Bob Essenza the save. Good pressure by the Winnipeg Jets with the man advantage. Kirk McLean coming up with a couple of big saves. And you try and get the crowd out early if you're on the road, and Kirk McLean has stymied the Jets. Here's a chance. Good move by Tkachuk, the first save, but look at this second one. McLean right back to his feet and just in time to get that rebound from Teppo Numminen. And at the other end, watch this save by Bob Essenza. There's no way he sees this one. Screened all the way, and yet he's in perfect position, and the puck hits him and goes up over the glass and out of play.
Good first period action at both ends. Still no score. 17:07 to play. Opening period. Borsato leaves it for King. King for Barnes. Barnes works his way in. Goes too deep. Can't get the shot away. King has it for the Jets. Coming out of the corner. King with the shot. Slides it wide. King for the Jets. Plays it behind the net for Stu Barnes. He loses it. Sergio Momesso plays it off the boards and then loses it. Barnes can't control it for the Jets. Canucks try to clear, but the Jets keep the pressure on. This is Ty Domi. Domi backhands it to Barnes. Pile up in front of Kirk McLean, and the Jets can't find the puck. Robert Dirk does. He falls on it. 16:25 to play. Opening periods. Different looks here at the Winnipeg Arena tonight for Game 3 of the Smythe Division semifinal. It's a noisy crowd urging the Jets on to get back into this series. The faceoff to the left of Kirk McLean. Thomas Steen working against Cliff Ronning. Steen has got Tkachuk with him on the left and Borsato on the right. He gets it back to the point to Phil Housley. Housley with the shot wide. This is Sergei Boughton. His shot also wide. Tkachuk being worked against on the boards. Dave Babbage for Vancouver. Housley keeps it in. Gets the shot away. They score!
Canucks, and Phil Housley alertly at the point picks it up. Now, is it Tkachuk or Luciano Borsato who tips this one? Look at Housley. Pick it up, spin to his forehand, lets a good low shot go, and there's Tkachuk and Borsato both in front. And you can tell from Kirk McLean's reaction that somebody tipped it.
Giveaways were costly for the Winnipeg Jets in the first 2 games at the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver. And it's that disease that has struck the Vancouver Canucks in Game 3. Tkachuk is getting credit for the Winnipeg goal.
Housley. Time of the goal, 3 minutes, 52
Housley
seconds.
gets the assist. The goal coming at 3:52. So the Winnipeg Jets have struck first for the first time in the series. Didick backhands it along the boards. Dean Kennedy with the shot, not wide by much. Sergei Boughton tries to keep it in for the Jets. They do. And it's finally cleared. And then Boughton bangs it back in. This is Gerald Didick losing it to Thomas Steen. It's a 2-on-1. Borsato on the right. Borsato couldn't get the shot away. He was being watched by Babbage. Thomas Steen in the middle to Shannon. Shannon doesn't get good wood on that. Shannon works his way around the net. The crowd calling for a penalty against Cliff Ronning. This is Trevor Linden at center to Courtney. Back to Linden. Linden's shot, and it's deflected by Kennedy. And Kennedy just clears it to center ice. McLean well out of his net and bothered there by Shannon. Merzen up off the boards trying to find somebody. Merzen to Hunter. Hunter's long shot turned aside easily by Bob Essenza. A pile up over by the boards, and the play is blown up.
And Selanne started that with a good solid body check himself. And there goes Gary Volk again.
Gary Volk, 2 minutes for charging. Time to penalty.
Now here's a hit that Selanne hit. Good solid hit. He's a 200-pounder. He plays to his size. And there you see Gary Volk come in from behind. And Volk came a long way. And that's why he's getting the charging penalty. And the Jets power play that looked very impressive on their first opportunity has another try here early in the first period. And the crowd really involved in this one.
Canucks have 2 penalties assessed against them so far, both to number 23, Gary Volk. It's Steen, Davidoff, and Tkachuk, the forward unit for the Winnipeg Jets. Housley and Olofsson working the points for Winnipeg. Housley behind his own net. Tkachuk on the left side. Make that Olofsson. Leaves it for Davidoff. Back to Olofsson. Over to Housley. Housley's shot blocked in front by Merzen. Not clear. Olofsson mistimes that shot. This is Murray Craven for Vancouver. Shot deflected off of Housley. Adams back to the point. Merzen first time's wide. Housley leads the Winnipeg power play unit. Davidoff just dumps it in. And Merzen just dumps it out.
Canucks do a good job standing up, and the Jets are not a good shoot-in team on the power play. They like to control, and especially against a good puck-handling goalie like Kirk McLean, it's hard to ring it around the boards and then chase.
Jets have so much ability, so much skill when they carry the puck in. I don't know why they dump it in. Jamnoff comes out. This is Selanne. Shoot, save, McLean. Tries to get the rebound and get the shot away, but can't. He had 2 cracks at it and missed both of them. This is Olofsson for the Jets. Works his way past Semenoff. Pass in front. Shannon tried to deflect it, but couldn't. Housley. Selanne. Shot scores!
Selanne's first goal ever in the NHL playoffs. Now watch Gerald Diddick. The pass comes from Housley. Look at Diddick. He's going to try and block the shot. It goes right through him. And Kirk McLean didn't see it at all. If you're a defenseman, you go down to block the shot. You can't let it go through. It has to go over top. The goaltender's always looking high, and it went right through Diddick.
The playoffs, scored by number 13, Teemu Selanne. The assist, number 6, Phil Housley. And number 34, Darren Shannon.
That's the second point of the game for Phil Housley. Selanne had 76 goals over the course of the regular season, but that's one he'll remember for a long time. His first ever in Stanley Cup playoff competition. It gives the Winnipeg Jets a 2-0 lead, and we've got 12:54 to play, opening period. Ulanov fires it along the boards. Canucks control. There's the shot. Taken in front by Ulanov. Stripped by Courtnall, and Ulanov gets it back. Notice he's not playing it up the middle. This is Nedved. Tries to get the pass to Courtnall. Courtnall pass to Lidster, who was pinching in. Good pressure from Vancouver. Ulanov backhands it down the boards. Selanne is there. Tries to find Domi with a pass. Can't. This is Mike Layler. Intercepted by Lidster. This is Nedved. Nedved shoot save. Bob Essenza. Just over 12 minutes to play. Opening period here at the Winnipeg Arena. And the Jets with a 2-0 lead over the Vancouver Canucks. They trail in the series 2-0.
Jet giveaway right up the middle. Darren Shannon with the puck along the boards, and instead of going off the wall and out, throws it right up the middle to Pavel Bure. Now here's the pass. Look at that. Right up the middle. There's Bure with the shot. Good save by Essenza through a screen, and that's a necessary penalty right there. Borsato coming back in desperation gets a hooking penalty.
So the Vancouver Canucks will have the man advantage for the next 2 minutes, courtesy of Borsato off for hooking. And it's Linden, Greg Adams, and Pavel Bure up front for Vancouver. Murray Craven and Yuri Slager on the points for Vancouver. Slager keeps it in, plays it to Bure. Slager losing it to Eagles, and now it's a race between Zamnoff and Bure, a pair of 10s. Murray Craven starting out for Vancouver. 1:40 remaining in the penalty to Borsato. And the Jets manage to clear.
You saw earlier the Vancouver Canuck power play 1 for 9, and that power play goal came when they had a 2-man advantage, and I think that's why Yuri Slager's in the lineup tonight to try and revive the Vancouver power play. He is a good passer and a good shooter from the point.
And a very mobile defenseman. Not mobile enough to get the puck that time. Slager races back and chased by Shannon. Thomas Steen for the Jets. Merely content to dump it in. Kill off some more seconds. 54 seconds now remaining in the penalty to Borsato. This is Cliff Ronning at center. Has it stripped neatly and cleared. Dave Babbage to Slager. Slager just directs it forward into the Jets zone. Babbage keeps it in with a backhand pass. Gets it back. Plays it ahead to Ronning. Ronning moves forward. Shot save. Essenza. And Ronning was there to try and find the rebound, but Essenza wasn't letting go.
And with Sergio Momesso standing right in his face, Ronning tried to go up and over Bob Essenza. Ronning scored a high goal, the first goal in Game 2, where he did get it over Essenza's shoulder. And watch Ronning tries to do the same thing here. Pulls it out, goes up, but doesn't get it high enough. And Essenza's right there to make the save. Here comes Ronning out of the corner, left-hand shot, good angle, and Essenza in perfect position to make the save. It'll be interesting to see how Sergio Momesso plays without Jim Sandlak. They were a good combination forechecking.
Quick shot by Babbage, and Essenza had to be alert off the face-off to make that save.
Bob Essenza getting some playoff action. Last year it was all Rick Tabaracci, and Tabaracci has played all the games for the Washington Capitals so far. Went to Washington in a trade for Jim Rivnak, and you can see the white noise. I don't think they have to flash that on the scoreboard here. It's been noisy ever since the crowd started to fill in about 45 minutes before warm-up.
They just have it on automatic. It never stops. This is Babbage. 15 seconds remaining in the Canucks power play. They've had a couple of chances. Babbage with a shot from long range. It's wide. This is Jyrki Lumme to Ronning. Running shot and save from Essenza. That was a quality chance. That one was labeled, but Essenza saw it all the way.
And again, there was Sergio Momesso trying to set up a screen, but Essenza looked around. He's a veteran goaltender. Watch Essenza peek around and spot Cliff Ronning. And up again off the shoulder as Ronning's trying to go high on Essenza.
9:52 to play, opening period. Winnipeg Jets with a 2-0 lead on the Canucks. The Canucks will have the man advantage for a final 2 seconds. Peter Nedved will take this face-off against Mike Eagles. To the left of Bob Essenza in the Jet zone. Shots on goal so far, 10-7 favor Winnipeg. Steen. Watched by Nedved. Eagles pulled down by Nedved. Pass on the right side to Tim Hunter. Hunter unloads with a big shot. Easy save for Bob Essenza.
And then Hunter drives to the net. And there's Ty Domi and Hunter now. Hunter takes a poke at Sergei Boughton. Mike Eagles is in.
You get the impression that Hunter wants to get things going.
I really do. And you can see Tim Hunter is bleeding from his nose again, as Ty Domi reached around and grabbed a hold of Hunter. Here's the long shot by Essenza. They've just killed off the penalty, so Essenza wants to get a line change. He frees the puck, and look at Hunter. He wants to drive into the Winnipeg Jet goaltender, create some confusion, and look at Ty Domi right there, reaches around. And it looks like Ty Domi is going to get the only penalty.
Ty Domi, 2 minutes for roughing. Back to the penalty, 10 minutes, 22 seconds.
Well, you heard the call. Ty Domi, 2 minutes for roughing. So the Canucks will go on the power play only seconds after Winnipeg had the man advantage. And it'll be Trevor Linden, Greg Adams, Murray Craven, Yuri Slager, and Pavel Bure out there for Vancouver.
Phil Housley talked things over with Kerry Fraser. In the last power play, it looked pretty good. Cliff Ronning had a couple of chances. The 3 shots, Ronning had 2 of them. And Tim Hunter did his job. He went out and drew a penalty, and that's what he was trying to do. As we look at John Pattigan, he has to be pleased with the start. When you're always playing catch-up, especially against a good defensive team like Vancouver, it's pretty hard to get things going. But now they're ahead, and Vancouver's a team that's going to have to take some chances.
Linden will take the face-off against Borsato. The penalty killers for the Winnipeg Jets: Jamnov, Numanen, Kennedy, and Borsato. 9:38 to play, opening period. Jets in front on a pair of goals from Keith Tkachuk and Teemu Selanne, his first ever playoff goal. Kennedy backhands it along the boards. Craven is there along with Jamnov. Now Teppo Numanen for the Jets behind his own net. Tries to clear it and does. Craven goes back for it. Leaves it for Slager. Craven shoots it in. Knocked down by Numanen. Easy clearance for Teppo Numanen.
Tough shoot in for Murray Craven. He didn't get much on it. Numanen was able to knock it down and easily clear the zone.
Slager to Craven. That time Craven able to get the dump in deep enough, but Kennedy has it for the Jets. And again, the Jets just dump it down the ice. Shannon chasing after it. McLean well out. Plays it along the boards. Shannon has it for the Jets. Smooth move back to Boughton. Numanen shoots it in. This is Cliff Ronning. Craven, Slager tries to find Courtney with the pass, and it's offside.
Jets doing a lot better job killing off this penalty. Jeff Courtney, you see, he's asking the linesman who was offside. Well, it was Jeff himself. He had to reach back for that pass. He's leading the team in scoring again this year. He led the team in playoff scoring last year. Has a nose for the net, and he and Linden and Ronning have really been a force in games 1 and 2. Now here's Sergio Momesso on Darren Shannon. Good solid hit, shoulder. No elbow, no high stick. And that's what Sergio Momesso does best. He's had a tough year around the net, but he's still been a physical presence.
38 seconds remaining in the penalty to tie Domi. Canucks have really not had a quality chance with the man advantage. Here's Momesso now. Fires in front, cleared by Boughton. Ronning takes a hit. Borsato just dumps it down the ice for the Winnipeg Jets. 20 seconds now in Domi's penalty. Another chance for the Canucks, led by Jeff Courtnall. Courtnall loses it to Mike Layler, and Layler puts it right on net. Craven behind his own net. Up center to Ronning. Tries to find Courtnall with a pass broken up by the Jets. Courtnall at the blue line. Ty Domi out of the penalty box for the Jets. Rink wide to Shannon. Has to go off his skate. This is Yamnoff. And it's offside at the blue line. Winnipeg Jets in front of the Vancouver Canucks 2-0. 7-18.
The wave of white here at the Winnipeg Arena as the fans are having fun with the home team ahead by a couple. And John Paddock is enjoying this one. He said his team played a lot better in game 2, but just didn't play a very intelligent game. They had so many giveaways and didn't cash in on their chances around the net.
Gerald Diddick. Hunter has it for the Canucks. Shot. Oh, a tricky one. Hunter gets the shot away, but he couldn't get it through the maze in front. Babbage with the shot. Rebound comes right back to Babbage. Shot save, Essenza. Ulanov finds Steen with the pass, but he couldn't hang on. Gary Vaught lays it off the boards. Ulanov to Housley. Robert Dirk with the shot. Save, Essenza, but he comes right out in front. Nobody's able to clear it. Finally, it winds up on the side boards. Teemu Selanne and Vaught. Back to Dirk. Dirk with the shot. Semenov got a stick on it, but deflected it wide. Housley for Keith Tkachuk, one of the goal scorers for the Winnipeg Jets tonight in game 3. Dirk hit by Tkachuk. Fans love that. Semenov backhands it ahead to Lidster, and then he goes with a backhand behind the net. And Selanne lays out Vaught, and we're gonna get a penalty.
And Selanne is getting the penalty for charging on Gary Vaught. Vaught just tried to pick on Selanne, just got in front of him, and Selanne flattened Gary Vaught. Now watch Teemu Selanne right here. Look at Gary Vaught. He's just interfering to give his defenseman some time. And Selanne runs right over him.
Teemu Selanne, 2 minutes for charging. Time of the penalty, 14 minutes.
And watch Keith Tkachuk on Robert Dirk. This is when he plays his best. Good, solid forechecking. Tkachuk goes down, but it's a giveaway. Bob Essenza has been very sharp here in the first period. The save on Tim Hunter. And then it goes back to Dave Babbage, and watch Essenza get to his feet and get in position. Gets to his feet, gets in position, and look at the quick legs of Bob Essenza.
The time of that penalty to the finish flash. Teemu Selanne, 14 minutes of the opening period. Jets on top of the Canucks, 2-0. And once again, the Canucks will have the man advantage. Jyrki Lumme and Craven on the points.
Shots at one time were 10-4 in favor of Winnipeg. They're now 13-11 in favor of Vancouver as the Winnipeg Jets have taken 3 penalties in a row.
The forwards up front for Vancouver on the power play. Trevor Linden, Pavel Bure, and Greg Adams. And the Jets are able to clear. This is Jyrki Lumme. Murray Craven at center ice to Bure, and Greg Adams beat him into the zone, so it's an offside.
And again, the Winnipeg Jets doing a good job standing up at the blue line, and that forces the offside. Greg Adams, who missed a month with a serious thigh injury, just coming back now to get his timing back. Hit the peak and lately his timing has been a little off. He's missed a number of good scoring chances.
Murray Craven shoots it in. Bure there for Vancouver. Comes back to Lume. He backhands it in. And the Jets are able to clear once again. The Canucks power play not really able to mount much of a chance. Craven. This is Luma. Pavel Bure. Canucks setting up. Adams back to Bure. Lume. Shot save. Bure with the rebound, and he got the shot away on Essenza, but Essenza has everything covered tonight.
And that backhand shot from Bure, Essenza didn't see it. Made the save. The puck dropped down to his feet. And you can hear the crowd, Bob E, Bob E. Here's the original shot from Jyrki Lume through a maze. Essenza with the save. Now watch this backhand. Goes right by Dean Kennedy, hits Essenza in the mask. He doesn't know where it is. Kennedy alertly pushes it into his goaltender, and they get the whistle.
And Essenza will face a new group of forwards for the Vancouver Canucks. Cliff Ronning, Courtnall, and Momesso.
Sergei Fedorov has scored the Detroit goal as they try and battle back, the Leafs with an early 2-goal lead on a couple of goals by Dave Anderchuk.
Shamnoff will take this face-off against Cliff Ronning. Lawler is out there with Eagles. And Sergei Boughton, the 4 penalty killers for the Winnipeg Jets. Momesso working against Boughton. Comes behind the net. Lawler has it. Plays it off the boards and down the ice. 4:36 remaining opening period. Jets leading on a pair of goals from Keith Tkachuk and Teemu Selanne. Ronning fires it in, goes off Shamnoff, but it's blown down at the blue line.
Canucks again offside, and the forced offsides on the power play, a lot of it has to do with the defense. Really had a slow start this year. Had trouble acclimating, had some contract problems, and was not too pleased with the Jets management at that time. Came on in the last couple of months and is a big factor for the Winnipeg Jets if they hope to go anywhere in the playoffs.
Still looking for his first point in the playoffs. Rosado ahead to Lawler. This is Courtnall. Courtnall shot saved by Essenza. And then Courtnall tried to flip it in front, and Essenza was right there again.
That's shot number 16 for the Vancouver Canucks. A good save by Bob Essenza.
4 to play, opening.
That all adds up to one hot goalie, Bob Essenza. License plate there at the end of the Winnipeg Arena. He has been good, especially in the last 10 minutes when the Canucks have had a man advantage for 6 of those 10 minutes and had some pressure in the Winnipeg zone.
This is Ulanov behind his own net. Breaks out on the right side. Neatly checked there by another Russian, Anatoly Semenov. Tkachuk scoops it into the zone. Teams playing 5-a-side with 3:40 remaining to play first period. Steen does a good job of blocking Semenov there. This is Babbage with the long shot into the corner. Now let's go down to Ken Daniels for an update. Kenny?
Well, Steve, we finally have a goal at the arena in St. Louis, and it comes courtesy of the Blues, and they're on the power play. Jeff Brown to Brett Hull, whose shot almost takes off a piece of Belfour's shoulder. Just before it goes across the line, Craig Janney puts it home. Curtis Joseph in goal for St. Louis. 1-0 Blues, first period.
Goaltender so important. Curtis Joseph shots on goal in game 2, 47-17 for Chicago over St. Louis, and St. Louis still won that game.
I must admit, though, of all the series so far, that's the biggest single surprise for me, the way the Blues have outplayed Chicago. At least on the scoreboard, they may not have outshot them. Shots here, 16-11 favor Vancouver with 3:18 to play, opening period. This is Selanne to Domi. Domi takes a hit from Diddick, but still has the puck in his skates. Now he finally loses it. King comes over to help out. Canucks come away with it. Courtnall can't hang on. King fires it into the right corner. Talking to Glenn Hanlon this morning, he said the base of the board's very lively here in Winnipeg. The upper portion of the board's quite dead. Here's Courtnall to Ronning. Ronning shot turned aside by Essenza. Courtnall tries to get the pass back to Ronning but can't. Poked away by Selanne. Domi fires it into the corner on the left side. King being watched by Lister. Pass back to Barnes, and Barnes is shot wide. Robert Dirk head to Courtnall. Courtnall backhands it to the neutral zone. Teppo Numminen for the Winnipeg Jets. Cross ice pass to Stu Barnes. Lidster to Ronning. Controlled by the Jets. This is Eagles. Dana Merzen to Linden. Ronning couldn't corral the pass. Merzen shoots it in. Ronning was caught in the zone. Davidoff for the Jets at the Canucks blue line. Still has it. Shot turned aside by McLean. Adams plays it off the boards to nobody. Stolen by Bure. Chance scores!
We talked about the giveaways for the Winnipeg Jets. This is Alexei Zhamnov. Now watch him. He brings it back and then just loses it to Pavel Bure. And Bure's hooked. The puck just slides under Bob Essenza. Now watch, Zhamnov gives it away, and at the last second he hooks Bure, and the rolling puck goes underneath Bob Essenza.
I've got a feeling that Bob Essenza would like another shot at that one. I think he misplayed it.
I think Alexei Zhamnov would like to have that pass back.
But Pavel Bure has a tendency to make goaltenders do that. Bure's second goal of the playoffs, his 4th point. Lume. Murray Craven. Vancouver down by 1. 1:22 remaining to play, opening period. Lume still has it at the Jets blue line and then backhands it in, but it's called on the offside. Coming up during our first period intermission tonight, as always, Don Cherry will be in the coach's corner with some thoughts on the playoff series so far, and a special thought or two on Wendell Clark, who the Detroit media are calling Wendy.
Now here's a rolling puck. Now watch Zhamnov right here hook Bure, and Essence is playing a move. Bure doesn't have a chance to make the move, and the puck just slides under the goaltender.
And the face-off will come just outside the Winnipeg zone. Murray Craven will work this one against Thomas Steen. Bure and Adams out there with Craven. Tkachuk plays it through center ice. Back to Tkachuk. Bure, the Canucks goal scorer. Pass to Adams. Adams firing down the middle. Numminen is there for the Jets. Boughton off the boards. Tkachuk at center ice and takes a hit from Pavel Bure.
And a penalty coming up to Bure for elbowing. And now Adams is having words with Thomas Steen. And Bure goes to the penalty box, and the Winnipeg Jets have their 3rd power play opportunity of the night. Now watch Pavel Bure when he goes to hit Keith Tkachuk. Tkachuk's in the middle. Now watch Bure right here jump up and get the elbow up on Tkachuk and take the elbowing penalty.
Pavel Bure, 2 minutes for elbowing.
And Keith Tkachuk showed good restraint, not going after Bure. He knew his team was going to have a power play opportunity, and he didn't retaliate, and his team has a man advantage.
And you know, John, if Bure hadn't got the elbow up, that would have been a good hit.
He had him lined up. Tkachuk had the head down trying to play the puck, but Bure jumped up, left his feet, had the elbow right in Tkachuk's ear.
Face-off to the left of McLean. Teppo Numminen runs into the linesman. Shannon behind the net. Passes in front. No jet there. knocked out of harm's way by the Canucks. 30 seconds remaining in the opening period. Jets in front by a goal. Numanum down the left side, drives it into the Canucks zone. Semenov plays it with his skate. Housley keeps it in, over to Teppo Numanum. Numanum shot deflected, but wide. Housley. Jamnov with the pick play. Housley, pass in front, chance for Selanne, he scores!
With 2.6 seconds left in the period. And another power play goal for the Winnipeg Jets. Now watch Teemu Selanne, he almost fans on this. It's a rolling puck, and look at Kurt McLean. He does fan on it, it's a knuckleball. Shannon to Selanne, and look at this. Wilbur Wood couldn't have thrown a better one.
So the young guns, the big guns, have come alive for both the Vancouver Canucks, but especially for the Winnipeg Jets. Teemu Selanne with his second of the night, his second of the 93 playoff season. And this period is over. The Winnipeg Jets go to the dressing room with a 3-1 lead over the Vancouver Canucks. The score at the end of the first, Jets 3, Canucks 1. It is indeed underway. Winnipeg Jets leading the Vancouver Canucks 3-1. Cliff Ronning out there for Vancouver. Plays it to Trevor Linden on the right side. His shot, he scores! Opening second period. Canucks get their second goal. This one from Trevor Linden.
We saw a funny one on Kurt McLean at the end of the first. Well, this is a funny one on Bob Essence. Sergei Boughton goes down to block this shot from Linden. And watch Boughton. Does he get a piece of it? Bob Essence gets a piece of it, and it beats him high short side. Look at the rolling puck. Look at how it's rolling. And a flutter ball beats Bob Essence.
Second of the playoffs for Trevor Linden, and it puts the Canucks right back into this one in a hurry. In the opening seconds of the second period, it's now the Jets 3, the Canucks 2.
Second of the playoffs is scored by number 16, Trevor Linden. The assist, number 7, Cliff Ronning, and number 21, Jyrki Lumme. Back to the goal, 14.
Ronning and Lumme drawing the assists on the Linden goal. Here comes Courtnall one-on-one against Housley. Borsato plays it off the boards. Merzen there for Vancouver. Drives it in. Housley goes over to retrieve it, and a whistle stops the play.
And we've got a high sticking penalty coming up against the Winnipeg Jets. And Keith Tkachuk is having words with Dana Merzen, but it's Luciano Borsato who is headed to the penalty box.
So the Vancouver power play will go to work with 19:13 gone.
2 minutes for high sticking.
The penalty coming at 47 seconds. Pat Quinn has to be very pleased with the way this second period has opened for the Canucks with a goal, and now they have the man advantage.
Now watch Borsato right here. Here comes Jyrki Lumme. Look at Borsato's stick right there on the back of Lumme's helmet. And Borsato's in the penalty box.
Shots on goal, 19-13 favor the Vancouver Canucks in the opening period. Bure and Hunter led all Canucks shooters with 4 each. Selanne had 4 for the Winnipeg Jets, and on 2 of those shots, he scored. Trevor Linden, Greg Adams, Pavel Bure, the forwards on the power play for Vancouver. They get the draw back to Yuri Slager, one of the point men. Back to Trevor Linden. Greg Adams, Linden. Linden shot, scores! Tie game!
And Trevor Linden with 2 goals in the first minute here of the second period on the power play. And this time Dean Kennedy goes down to try and block the shot. And Bob Essence can't see it. Beats him short side. Now watch, they set it up to Linden. He's a right-hand shot coming out of the left corner, so he's got a pretty good angle. Look at Dean Kennedy. He's down, screening his goaltender, and that one beats Essence short side.
This game has taken a dramatic, sudden turn in favor of the Vancouver Canucks, thanks to that man, Trevor Linden, their captain, scoring his second and third of the playoffs.
Scored by number 16, Trevor Linden. The assists, number 8, Greg Adams, and number 24, Yuri Slager. Time of the goal, 59 seconds.
59 seconds, the time of the second goal for Trevor Linden to tie the game at 3. Bure tries the pass, blocked by Numminen. Semenov tries to find Bure. Numminen picks that off. This is Chris King. He loses it. Lawler tries to find King with a pass. Did it. Clears it off the boards. Numminen crosses the blue line into Domi. Domi turns and fires wide. King has his pass intercepted by Adams. Adams tries to leave it for Semenov. This is King at center. Shot from well out, taken easily by Kirk McLean. Leaves it for Babbage. Babbage, backhand pass to Adams. In the middle to Semenov. Semenov working against Housley. King against Craven. Craven sent flying. Lume, his shot blocked. Nedved keeps it in. Bure with a nice move all alone, and the shot goes high and over top of Essenza. Back in the corner. Back to Merzen. Lume, shot. And to those viewers watching the Detroit-Toronto game, welcome to the arena in Winnipeg, where a dramatic turn of events has tied this game at 3. A couple of quick goals from Trevor Linden, his second and third of the playoffs. And John Garrett, we're even at 3.
Canucks really came out of the dressing room and have forced the Winnipeg Jets. A rolling puck from Trevor Linden beat Bob Essenza, and then on the power play he was able to score. The Canucks played well in the first period, but Bob Essenza was really on a roll. As we look at Tim Hunter, a few scars from this series. A new one tonight as Ty Domi took a roughing penalty. Tim Hunter, now those scars probably won't heal until the Canucks are finished and out of the playoffs.
In the first period, the scoring story was Teemu Selanne with his first and second playoff goals ever for Winnipeg Jets. Face-off to the left of Essenza. This is Yamla bringing it out for the Winnipeg Jets at the blue line. Intercepted by Jyrki Lume. Lume still has it. Broken up by Olausson. Jamnov for the Jets. Turns in his own zone. Rink wide pass. Olausson. Nedved tried to shake it free, couldn't. Dumped in. Lume finds Craven with a perfect pass. Craven dumps it into the corner on the right side. Nedved goes in after it, working against Olausson. Pass in front of Linden. He couldn't control it. Here's a chance for Teemu Selanne, working against Robert Dirk. Selanne. Pass is deflected by Doug Lidster into the neutral zone. Numminen. His pass is intercepted and picked up by Trevor Linden. Linden fires it in on the glass behind the Jets' goal. Canucks knock it back in. 15:52 to play, second period, and we are tied at 3. We'll be right back after this message.
Mike Eagles takes a charging penalty at 4:08, and the Winnipeg Jets are flirting with danger again. As we look at John Paddock, that's 5 of the last 6 penalties have gone against the Winnipeg Jets. And you can't give a team like Vancouver that does have some good scorers that many opportunities.
Eventually, the puck is going to go in the net for the Canucks, and it did rather quickly and rather dramatically in the opening minute of the second period here at the Winnipeg Arena. We are tied at 3. 15:47 to play, second period. Babbage and Yuri Slager, the point men on the power play for Vancouver. Bure, Adams, and Trevor Linden up front. Slager goes around Borsato. Teemu comes over to help out. This is Trevor Linden. Babbage backhands it into the corner. Tried to find Adams. Bure is there for Vancouver. Plays it to Adams. Adams gets it back to Babbage. Babbage with a nice move. Shot wide. And cleared by the Winnipeg Jets. 1:16 remaining in the penalty to Mike Eagles. Babbage starts out from behind his own goal. This is Bure. Linden. Back to Adams. And a neat move by Zhamnov. Jyrki Lumme. Momesso. Ronning chasing in after it. Ronning comes away with it. Ronning passing in front. Winds up on the mesh in behind the net. Bure sent flying, no call, as the Jets dump it in. 30 seconds remaining in the penalty to Eagles. Yuri Slager. Momesso. Ronning. Back to Lumme. Courtnall. Courtnall's shot, and Essenza makes the save.
And Bob Essenza, his first real good stop after the 2 quick goals. Jeff Courtnall tried to go high again on Essenza, but he sees it all the way. And this puck is lying flat when Courtnall tees it up. And you see Essenza sees it all the way, gets the left hand out. And there's Cliff Ronning waiting for a rebound. It's hard for a goaltender after 2 quick goals, and especially that funny one from Trevor Linden. Even though the puck was rolling and you know it was just a fluke goal, your concentration usually goes, and then a short side power play goal that you didn't see. And now Essenza looks like he's bounced back.
Craven gets it back to Lumme. To Courtnall. Lumme. Shot deflected wide. And Essenza covers up behind the net. Ronning mixing things up with Teppo Numminen.
And the penalty is over, and the Winnipeg Jets get a chance to get reorganized.
I think the Winnipeg Jets would like to replay that opening minute. Just go back in the dressing room and come back out and say, okay, now let's start the second period.
Tie up your skates a little tighter and say, okay.
But a good first 60 seconds of this second period it was for Vancouver, with a pair of quick goals from Trevor Linden. And it certainly took white noise out of the building in a hurry. Semenov against Stu Barnes to the left of Bob Essenza. 13:49 to play, second period. Shot blocked by Eagles. Lidster dumps it in. Intercepted by the Canucks, but they weren't able to capitalize that time. Fredrik Olofsson behind his own goal. Kennedy and Hunter mixing things up in front, a pair of 26s. Olofsson at center. Semenov poke checks him and then is dumped in by the Jets. Played off the boards and cleared to the neutral zone by Vancouver. Teams at 5 aside.
Wondering about his concentration, but now he's playing with Hunter and Volkin playing very well.
New defensive pairing out there for the Canucks. Gerald Diddick and Dave Babbage. Stu Barnes, King, and Domi up front for the Jets. Olofsson and Kennedy on the blue line. Cleared to center ice. Olofsson through the middle looking for Domi. Domi runs into Diddick. There's a couple of powerful players. Domi giving away about a foot. This is Domi. Passing in front. King couldn't control it and get a quality shot on Kirk McLean. We are tied at 3, second period here in Winnipeg. Immediately after this game tonight, viewers in Manitoba will see the news, and then following that, they will see the conclusion of the Calgary Flames game in Los Angeles against the Kings. Viewers in British Columbia only will see the news. We are tied at 3, 12:44 to play, second period here at the arena in Winnipeg. Jamnov against Craven. Canucks win the draw. Babbage behind his own goal. Plays it to Craven. Craven tries to find Adams up on the left wing with a pass, but it's too far. And the Canucks will be called for icing.
And it looks like the Jets have regained their composure. They took a couple of penalties. Teemu Selanne getting his shift here, his first shift of the second period. And that's what happens when you take penalties. Selanne doesn't kill penalties. He doesn't get the ice time, and you want him on the ice as much as you can. And the Jets have to get it going again. It looks like they've calmed down. They were rattled here at the start of the second period. Those 2 quick goals, they were back on their heels. But now it looks like they've calmed down and returned to the way they played the first period.
2 goals in less than a minute for the Canucks, both from Trevor Linden. And that has tied the game at 3. Jamnov against Murray Craven. Jamnov wins the draw. Teppo Numminen. Numminen passes in front, nobody there. Selanne with the shot, blocked. Craven kicks it away. Jamnov back to Housley. Housley's shot is blocked neatly by Greg Adams. Gerald Diddick gave it away and then made the play. Bure. Adams back to Bure. To Craven. Pass in front. Greg Adams knocks it out of the air, but knocks it wide. Long pass for Selanne. One-on-one against Babbage. And he tried to find the Jet who was streaking through the middle. Jamnov, and we're going to get a penalty on the play against the Vancouver Canucks.
It's Greg Adams who is going to get the penalty, and I don't know whether it's going to be interference or a holding, but Jamnov tried to jump up and create a 2-on-1. The long pass from Shannon to Selanne, and Selanne one-on-one. Jamnov tried to jump up into the play, and Adams coming back made a good play, took his man, but now he's going to get a penalty. It is interference as Adams had Jamnov all tied up. Now here's the pass, and look at, there's Adams on Jamnov right there. Called interference, could have been holding. Either way, the Jets have a power play, and their power play has been pretty good. 2 for 3 tonight.
And that has to be a concern for Pat Quinn, a source of some comfort for John Baddow behind the bench for the Winnipeg Jets as white noise again begins to make its presence felt here at the arena in Winnipeg. Linden working this face-off against Thomas Steen. Now Housley comes in to take the face-off for the Jets. He's got Tkachuk on his right. Plays it to Davidoff. Davidoff gets it back to Steen, to Housley. Housley with the shot high and wide. Davidoff. Housley back to Davidoff. Housley first time's wide. Rebound comes to Olsson. He can't control it, and the Canucks are able to clear. .11:20 remaining second period. Jets 3, Canucks 3. .122 remaining in the Greg Adams penalty. Selanne on the right side. Tkachuk back to Olsson. Across to Housley. Olsson, and Olsson has a jump over his stick. And the Jets will have to come back and regroup as they pass through the middle. McLean leaves it for Jyrki Lumme, and Lumme fires it the length of the ice.
Kirk McLean is so good with the puck. He's quarterbacking any shoot in. He goes out, gets it, directs his defenseman. There we saw Jyrki Lumme with the easy play to clear the zone and get it down.
Lidster plays it off the boards to again clear the zone and nullify the Jets power play. 40 seconds remaining for the Jets with the man advantage. Jamnov breaking in on the right side, and he was offside. Now let's go to Ken Daniels for an update.
All right, Steve, Norris Division semifinal at Toronto. The Red Wings and the Leafs. Leafs are on a power play. Doug Gilmour passes in front to Wendell Clark, who's taken a lot of heat in this series. Scores his first goal in 9 games and 2 periods. 4:44 into the third. It's 3-1 Leafs leading Detroit.
More of a Pat Burns style game, a 3-1 game. They've allowed 12 goals in the 2 games in Detroit. And that's very uncharacteristic of a Pat Burns coach team. He always has good defensive teams, good team defense, and usually a very good goals against average.
Here in Winnipeg, 10:23 remaining to play, second period. We're tied at 3. Jets still on a power play. Less than 30 seconds now remaining in the penalty to Greg Adams. Shannon gets it along the boards. Back out to Housley. Housley's shot blocked in front and then cleared by Gerald Diddick. And with Housley getting a well-deserved rest, he has 3 assists so far in this game tonight. The faceoff will come to the left of Kirk McLean in the Canucks zone. Eagles, Borsato, Davidoff, the forwards for Winnipeg. Back to Lawler. Lawler moving in, fires behind the boards. Davidoff is there, but he allows it to go right back to Teppo Numminen. Back into Davidoff. Fakes the shot. Numminen, his shot. Turned aside by McLean. Rebound, save McLean. But they can't clear the zone. Numminen with the shot. McLean just knocks it forward. Adams to Nedved. Nedved can't control. Numminen off the boards. Robert Dirk shoots it into the Winnipeg bench.
8 saves, but they also let in some funny goals. The first Trevor Linden goal and the second Selanne goal. I'm sure both goaltenders would like to have those back.
The faceoff just inside the Canucks blue line. Stu Barnes against Peter Nedved. Olofsson works his way forward. Leaves it for Kennedy. Kennedy fires it around. Stu Barnes against Peter Nedved. Plays it for King. King being watched by Lume. Ty Domi comes over to help out. Nedved gets involved. It's in the skates of Domi. Now it's finally cleared around the boards. Back to Kennedy. Kennedy knocks it into Barnes. Puck behind the net. Barnes still scrapping for it. King has it now on the sideboards. King to Domi. Domi working his way into the middle. Has it knocked away. Merzen against Barnes. Lume behind the net. Tries the backhander. Doesn't work. Kennedy swipes at it. Blocked by the Canucks. This is Greg Adams working with Nedved. Plays it for Nedved. Intercepted by Ty Domi, who's doing a good job, having a good shift. All over the ice. King. His pass hit the net. Came right back to him. Backhands it. Tries to find Domi. Domi getting a little tired. Good long shift. Kennedy. Olofsson. His pass blocked by Nedved. He's been out there for a while. McLean around the boards. And Tkachuk takes Merzen down. Then Merzen retaliates against Tkachuk. 2 of them still going at it. Housley gets a pass from behind the net. Passes in front. Goes off a Canuck. Boughton. Housley passing in front, trying to find Steen, and Lume is able to clear. Jyrki Lume as the whistle goes. 7:41 to play, second period. A beautiful evening in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Dana Merzen gets a cross-checking penalty. Good pressure by the Winnipeg Jets. Thomas Steen can't find the puck. Watch Merzen right here in the small of the back. And that's a cross-checking penalty. Merzen and Tkachuk had words earlier, and I think Kerry Fraser had his eye on Merzen, and off he goes.
The face-off to the right of McLean. Numminen. Back to Housley. Teemu Selanne. Couple of goals tonight. Housley with 3 assists. Pass there to Shamrock, and he mistimed his shot. Perfect setup by Housley. Housley to Selanne. Selanne spots Shamrock, and again he mistimes the shot. Selanne to Housley. And there's a first time, and that was right on the target from Selanne. Loose puck in front, finally cleared by the Canucks. Gary Vaughn to Anatoly Semenov. Back to Vaughn, broken up by Teppo Numminen. Selanne for Housley. Lidster there for Vancouver. 1:07 remaining in the Jets power play. Teppo Numminen being watched by Pavel Bure, the always dangerous Bure. This is Zhamnov at the blue line. Back to Numminen. Housley. Numminen. Shot blocked by Craven. Pass in front. Zhamnov with the shot moving in, and it's blocked in front. And the Canucks are able to clear, relieve some of the pressure momentarily. Housley wheeling, finds Olsson. Olsson tried to find Selanne or Zhamnov. Neither one of them in position.
We talked about Teemu Selanne in games 1 and 2 and how he looked so tentative. Well, Alexei Zhamnov the same way. He doesn't usually miss good scoring chances like he is tonight.
Shannon plays it off the boards for Thomas Steen. Steen back to Olsson. Olsson shot wide. Davidoff was there to try to get a stick on, deflected, but missed it. Sergei Boughton with the shot. It's wide. All the way back to Olsson. Olsson plays along the boards to Shannon behind. Steen with a shot, and his is wide again. Davidoff being watched by Didick. Gets it to Shannon. Pass for Steen, and he couldn't get to it. Now Trevor Linden plays it up for Nedved on the left side. Nedved back in the middle for Linden. Linden to Courtnall. Pass in front to Nedved. Couldn't get the shot away. As the Jets come back, 2-on-2, led by Shannon. Davidoff chasing after it. Dirk able to beat him to it. Plays it up to Courtnall. Courtnall, high pass into the neutral zone.
And that's going to be icing, and the Vancouver Canuck penalty killers have to give themselves a pat on the back as they've killed the last two.
At the arena in St. Louis, Kevin Miller does the work, and Brett Hull gets the goal at 12:31 of the second period. 2-0 now. St. Louis leading Chicago. Curtis Joseph approaching 5 full periods of shutout hockey. Although, John Garrett, I guess I'm not allowed to say shutout.
You're not supposed to, and I bet they probably score within about 5 minutes after you've said it, Ken.
Lawler being watched by Vaughn. Jyrki Lumme plays it up for Vaughn. Lawler intercepts, finds Domi with a pass. He's hit by Lumme, and then Lumme goes down, clutching his face.
And Ty Domi is getting a high sticking penalty as Jyrki Lumme stepped up and tried to hit Domi, and Domi tried to fight his way by Lumme. And I think this might be it for Ty Domi as Larry Ashley, the trainer, is out. And Domi is having words with Kerry Fraser. And Jyrki Lumme being helped off the ice by Larry Ashley.
Well, Ty Domi knew what happened the moment it happened because he turned, wheeled around, and saw as Jyrki Lumme went down, clutching his face.
5 minutes for a high sticking.
John Paddock. Now watch Lumme right here, steps up on Domi, and watch Domi's retaliation right there, and you can see it catches Lumme right across the bridge of the nose, and there's no doubt about that one. Now watch Domi again. Now Lume's there, he's got to stick up on Domi, but then look at Domi, just reaches around and goes right in the face of Jyrki Lumme.
More concern for Jets coach John Paddock. Saw his team squander a 2-goal lead in the opening minute of the second period here at the Winnipeg Arena. And his penalty killers will now be put to the test.
And there you can see the scoring sheet. The W beside Ty Domi for Winnipeg. High sticking, game misconduct, 15-25. And all those twos, and then the big 5. As the Canucks have a 5-minute power play to finish this period and to start the third period.
Canucks power play, 1 for 5, and they managed to get 9 shots away. 4:36 to play, second period. Canucks with the man advantage. Kennedy with the puck for the Jets, fires it in. Borsato, Zhamnov, and Numminen out there to kill the penalty for the Jets. Pavel Bure passes to Murray Craven. Greg Adams, the other forward for the Canucks. Yuri Slager on the point for Vancouver. And Slager's shot is high and into the...
This time, let's go to Maple Leaf Gardens, Steve, where the Leafs leading Detroit 3-1, third period. And Ron Pearson fakes the shot, circles the goal as Tim Cheveldae way out of position. And on the wraparound, he puts it home. 4-1 Leafs with 8 minutes to play at Maple Leaf Gardens.
Rob Pearson, Eric Lindros's former line mate, has really come into his own in the second half, playing with a lot of emotion and really responding to Coach Pat Burns.
Slager, the shot around the boards. Craven going in after, leaves it for Adams. Adams tried to get it back to Linden, but it's Zhamnov who comes up with it for the Jets. Zhamnov streaking in on the left side, being watched by Slager. Does a good job to tie up Zhamnov, and now Kerry Fraser has his hand up, indicating a penalty to the Vancouver Canucks.
And it's a holding penalty against Yuri Slager. And Slager made a good play, as you said, Steve. He had Zhamnov all tied up, but it's Trevor Linden who's going. I thought it was Slager for holding.
To number 16,
and watch
Trevor
Linden right here on Versado. And you can see Linden tying up Versado. I thought it was Slager who had his, and look at Linden all the way down the ice. And Linden goes off, and that will really help the Jets now play 4-on-4 for a while, and with their offensive talent, it should be to their advantage.
I, like you, John, thought it was Slager because we were watching Slager on the play, and I think it was that delayed holding that cost Linden 2 minutes.
The last one, just in case, and it was right in front of Kerry Fraser as he was following the play.
So now it's 4-on-4. The face-off to the right of Kirk McLean. 3:53 remaining to play, second period, tied at 3. Housley finds Selanne, but Selanne unable to get to the pass. Craven. This is Gerald Diddick. Passing in front, taken by Sergei Boughton, who plays it off the glass and down the ice. Babbage tries to go rink wide. Gets the puck back, plays it for Diddick. Back to Babbage. Jet forechecker's doing a good job. Housley takes a long shot, and Kirk McLean hangs onto it. Merzen for Doug Lidster. Worked by Zhamnov on the sideboards. Dana Merzen. Lidster. Back to Merzen. At his own blue line. For Anatoly Semenov too far. Mike Lawler retrieves it for the Jets. And then lets it go. Greg Adams is there. Now Teemu Selanne. Pair of goals for the Jets in this one. Down the ice. And it'll be icing against the Winnipeg Jets when it's touched by Dana Merzen. And of course the Calgary Flames out on the coast against the LA Kings. All that coming up in our second period intermission with Ken Daniels. This is Sergei Boughton for Thomas Steen. Steen really didn't get much wood on that shot. Now Greg Adams for Vancouver. Semenov on the left side. Leaves it for Adams. And the puck is tied up on the sideboards. Now back down to Ken Daniels and an update.
With 5 minutes to play at Maple Leaf Gardens, the Detroit Red Wings have cut the Leafs deficit to 2. Sergei Fedorov the pass to Steve Chason. It's in and out before Felix Potvin could move. It is now the Leafs by 2, 4-2 late in the third.
Felix Potvin must be playing a little better tonight. The Vancouver Canucks back on the power play again, as Trevor Linden has served his time, and Ty Domi still has 2:18 left in his major.
And the Canucks are out there with Cliff Ronning on the left side, Trevor Linden in the middle, Jeff Cornell on the right side, Babbage and Yuri Slager on the points. Versado will work the face off against Trevor Linden, and Linden gets it back to Babbage. Babbage back to Linden. Babbage trying to find Ronning. Linden fighting for it, loses it. Teppo Numminen has it for the Jets, and he's able to clear. Kirk McLean comes out of his net to play it. Behind the boards for Jiri Slegr. Ronning back to Babbage. Ronning picking up some speed. Rink wide to Courtnall. Courtnall tried to find Linden, and it's cleared again by the Jets. 1:10 to play, second period, in a 3-all tie here at the Winnipeg Arena. Courtnall finds Ronning wide open on the left side. Ronning with a shot, and Essenza with the save. And then taken down by Jeff Courtnall, but that was accidental.
Accidentally on purpose. That's a Vancouver Canucks going to the net. Ronning with a good shot, and again a rolling puck towards the end of the period. The ice isn't great. Well this year, as you'll talk to Ken Daniels, he's been their agitator almost all season long. Last year he had some problems with recovering from mononucleosis and really never did get his strength back. This season he's been in shape right from the start of the season and has played well for most of the year.
The face-off will come to the right of Bob Essenza. Murray Craven has done an excellent job since joining the Vancouver Canucks from the Hartford Whalers at the trading deadline. Canucks giving up some speed in Robert Cron, but they picked up a good power play specialist in Murray Craven.
And he's been killing penalties tonight for Pat Quinn's team. Takes face-offs. You can see him directing traffic here as Peter Nedved got waved out.
There's a minute remaining to play in the second period. The Canucks will have a man advantage for 1:25, so 25 seconds going into the third period because of that Ty Domi 5-minute major. Slegr. Nedved. Back to Jiri Slegr. Finds Craven. Craven with the shot, and it's deflected by Eagles. Slegr. Quick shot wide of the mark. Nedved is there. Fires it back to the point, and Slegr was in the middle.
The only time the Jets penalty killers have been in trouble is right from face-offs that they've lost deep in their own zone.
Bure for Vancouver glances up at the scoreboard clock, sees 19 seconds to play. Bure with a shot. Essenza covered that all the way.
You score a lot of goals. Everything you shoot hits the net, and the goaltender has to make the save.
Face-off to Essenza's right with just over 15 seconds to play. Second period, another wicked shot. That one from Slegr, and again Essenza blocking it out of the air.
Jiri Slegr, as you mentioned, Steve, has a good heavy shot on the power play from the point. A low backswing. It's hard to read as a goaltender. You haven't seen Slegr play a lot. And look at where Essenza is on this one. Look at the low backswing. And there it comes. Essenza out well to cut down the angle. Up goes the left hand to make the save.
And that one was labeled for the upper right-hand corner. Had Essenza not got the big mitt in the way. Linden gets the draw. Courtnall just slaps it into the corner. Back to Courtnall. He's unable to control. Slegr keeps it in with a good effort, and the buzzer goes to end the second period of play here at the Winnipeg Arena in a 3-3 tie.
And Mike Eagles and Jiri Slegr have words, and Bob Essenza settled down after a shaky start in that second period for the Winnipeg Jets. Good pressure by Vancouver, a couple of undisciplined penalties by the Jets, and the Canucks capitalized early, and the Jets came on late in the period.
Stay with us during our second period intermission tonight. Kenny Daniels will be talking live with the Vancouver Canucks' Jeff Courtnall, and of course we'll update you on all the other playoff action in the NHL tonight. The score at the end of the second period is Winnipeg 3, Vancouver 3. Selanne had a couple of shots in the second period, so he leads all shooters so far in this game with a grand total of 6. Third period is underway in a 3-3 tie here at the arena in Winnipeg. The Canucks with the man advantage for the next 20 seconds as Slegr shoots it in. Essenza plays it along the end boards. Ronnie to Courtnall. Courtnall being watched by Teppo Numminen. And then Numminen takes a hit from Trevor Linden. He not only scores, but he can dish out the body checks. Linden runs into Boughton. Linden starting the period just like he did the second period in a feisty mood. And Ty Domi's 5-minute major penalty is over. The teams are at even strength with 9:23 to play, third period in a 3-all tie. Murray Craven working against Zhamnov. Sergei Boughton has the puck go in front. No Canuck there to do any damage. Murzin with the weak shot wide of the mark. Bure. Shot goes off a Winnipeg Jet, and Teemu Selanne to Phil Housley. Wide open on the right side. Housley behind the net to Shannon. Shannon in front to Boughton. Boughton first times it high and wide. Shannon to Zhamnov. Zhamnov tried to find Teemu Selanne, but he couldn't control it. Zhamnov with a good move, working in from the side, pass in front. And Shannon had a chance, but couldn't direct it. And Kerry Fraser's got his arm up. A penalty coming up.
And it's Darren Shannon who's getting the high sticking penalty. Dana Murzin took Shannon. And we talked about Kirk McLean and how he reads the play so well. What a stop by Kirk McLean here early in this third period. Murzin hit Shannon in front after Shannon had the shot on goal. And then Shannon came down with the stick. And Shannon's getting the high sticking penalty. We'll have another look at it. Now here's the shot by Boughton, goes wide. The Jets with good pressure. Zhamnov tries to hit Selanne. Selanne can't find it. Now watch this. Look at Kirk McLean get that leg across to make the save. Now here, that's where Shannon gets the high sticking penalty on Dana Murzin.
And so with 18:44 to play in the third period, John Paddock looks on as his penalty killing unit will go to work against the Canucks power play. Yuri Slager and Murray Craven on the points. Pavel Bure, Greg Adams, and Captain Trevor Linden up front. Slager tried to backhand it in, but it goes into the bench off of Borsato.
Yuri Slager getting a chance to play here with the injury to Jim Sandlock, dressed as the 7th defenseman to help out the Canucks power play. The Canucks do have a power play goal tonight, as Trevor Linden's second goal was on the power play, and Yuri Slager got an assist on that goal.
Slager spent part of the season in Hamilton with the Vancouver Canucks American League team in the Steel City, but once he came up late in the season, he was up to stay. And has proven time and time again he deserves to be in the big show. Slager dumps it in. Right corner. Teppo Numminen there for the Jets. Taken down by Craven. Bure has it for Vancouver. Slager back to Bure. Bure along the boards to Linden. Lets it go to Greg Adams. Back to Craven. Craven forced to shoot it in on the boards. Trevor Linden has it. Backhand pass to Bure. Bure lets it go to Craven. Back to Bure. Greg Adams. Bure. He won't be shy to shoot if he gets the opportunity. Slager can't control it. Linden knocked to the ice by Steen, but the Canucks keep the pressure on. Bure to Adams. Adams allowed to walk in and shoots wide. Essenza got a piece of it. Steen tries to get it out. Can't. Yuri Slager's shot is blocked, and here's a chance. A breakaway for Borsato all alone. Shoots, scores!
Team with the fewest shorthanded goals in the National Hockey League scores a shorthanded goal. And look at Borsato show his speed, goes right by Pavel Bure in through McLean's legs. And Bure at the end of a long shift has nothing left to try and catch Borsato. And Borsato picks his spot and puts it away.
goes out. White noise as the Jets and their fans celebrate a rare shorthanded goal from Borsato. His first to the playoffs. A big one it is because it gives the Jets a 1-goal lead with 17:05 remaining to play third period. Babbage tries to find Courtnall with a pass. Jamnov being watched by Ronning, plays it off the boards, kept in by the Canucks. Shot from Babbage, juggled by Essenza. Courtnall with the shot, wide, running there, couldn't control the rebound and get his shot away.
Bob Essenza did a good job as that puck came off the boards just to tip it by Cliff Ronning.
Lume through the middle looking for Ronning, knocked down by Teemu Selanne. Shot in by the Jets. Behind the net, Babbage having trouble getting control. Babbage takes a hit. Jets in control. Selanne first times blocked in front. And cleared down the ice by the Canucks as a whistle blows down the play. We are tied, but we're not tied. Jets on top by 1.
Luciano Borsato short-handed. Thomas Dean blocked a shot at the blue line. And watch Pavel Bure here. He's got nothing as Borsato goes in, looks at the goaltender, picks a spot, and buries it on Kirk McLean.
And as you pointed out, John, only a 4th time this season that the Winnipeg Jets have managed to score a goal shorthanded. A big one it is. It gives them a 1-goal lead with 16:06 to play, third period. Robert Dirk shoots it in on the right side. Fredrik Olsson just slaps it around the boards. Semenov for Lidster. Lidster up on the right side to Hunter. Hunter takes a hit from King and Olsson. Stu Barnes passing to King, unable to control it. Lidster chasing after it. Davidoff beats him to it. Behind the net. Loose puck. Semenov comes over to play it for Vancouver. A pass through the middle. Dirk one-hands it up to Gary Vaughn. 2-on-2. Vaughn with a hard shot. Essenza with the save. Lidster at the blue line. Olsson behind his own net. Gary Vaughn. Shot. Essenza with the pad save. Kicks it out and Vaughn gets his own rebound. Hunter behind the net all alone. Olsson finally ties him up. One-handed pass by Hunter in front, but there was nobody home. Lidster shoots it in. Semenov can't control it. Vaughn. And it's shut down the ice. McLean lets it go. And that is icing against the Winnipeg. The face-off to the right of Bob Essenza in the Jets zone. Cliff Ronning. And Thomas Steen. Nobody really wins that draw. Steen hits Courtnall on the end boards. Lawler for the Jets. Plays it to Teppo Numminen. Can't get it out. Ronning keeps it in for Vancouver. Fires it in. Courtnall chasing after it. He's hit by Lawler. Jets much more physical in this third period, and it's paid off. And a two-line pass.
The addition of Mike Lawler into the lineup gives you that physical presence, and John Paddock dressed Lawler as a 7th defenseman, but he's been used on a regular basis.
14:22 to play as Lawler goes to the bench. Third period. Jets leading by a goal, 4-3. Nedved against Jamnov. Fired in by Merzen. Houghton, rink wide, looking for somebody. And then Merzen just comes up and slaps it back in. Right back where we started. Teemu Selanne, 2 goals for the Jets in this one so far. Lume for Vancouver. This is Housley. Rink wide for Sergei Boughton. Tipped in by Shannon. Selanne giving chase. This is Jyrki Lume. Try to find Nedved up the middle. Housley being watched by Nedved. Momessa with the shot, and Essenza forced to make the save. Off the chest protector. And the Winnipeg Jets electing to change the lines as you see the sea of white here at the Winnipeg Arena. They call it white noise. It's been deafening at times. Canucks took the noise out early in the second period, but it's come back in the third as Baddow has scored to put Winnipeg ahead 4-3. Lawler plays it to Numminen. Numminen trying to find Zhamnov with a pass, and it goes down the length of the ice. Slager back to touch it, and the Jets are called for icing.
And now all of a sudden the Holy Grail is the Stanley Cup. Does it really mean that much to them?
Hard to get a read on, John, because they're not very emotional. They don't display the emotion the way the Canadians do. This is Eagles at center for the Jets. Shoots it in as the Jets change on the fly. Doug Lidster behind his own goal, starting out for Vancouver. Yuri Slager. His pass goes nowhere. Zhamnov picks it up. Zhamnov working against Lidster. Shannon watched by Slager. Shannon upended. Slager goes down two. Greg Adams manages to clear the zone, working against Lawler. This is Pavel Bure. Bure shoots. Hessenza with the save, and it's cleared just in the nick of time by Zhamnov. Here's a chance now. Selanne. Can he get behind Didick? He gets the shot away. And I don't know that Kirk McLean thought that shot was coming with as much force as it did. Here's Bure at the other end. Bure goes around the net. Leaves it for Didick. Housley there to cover up for the Jets. Plays it off the glass. Babbage keeps it in. He finds Adams. Adams shot save. Hessenza. Bure gets the rebound. Back to the point. Didick keeps it in. Knocked into the corner by King. Bure working along the boards, trying to spring the puck loose, and he does. Babbage ahead to Adams. And tipped into the zone.
It's hard to tell, but I'm sure John Paddock is getting a few more gray hairs watching his team with chances to clear the zone and not getting it out.
King can't control it. Ronning plays it off the boards to Linden. Back to Ronning. 3-on-3. Ronning leaves it for Merzen. Merzen fans on the shot, and it's cleared by the Jets down the ice. Lume chasing after it. And it's icing against the Winnipeg Jets. 11:37 to play, third period. Jets in front, 4-3.
Mike Lawler gets tied up with linesman Gord Brosiker, but watch Alexei Zhamnov here. He's already given Pavel Bure a goal. Here he tries to send him in again. And Bob Essensa with a great save as Bure tried to go through the pads. And there's Zhamnov back to clear the puck.
Ronning and Steen on the faceoff. Canucks keep it in the Jet zone. Merzen knocks it forward, then Steen clears into the neutral zone. Lume being watched by Tkachuk. Linden ahead to Ronning. Ronning fakes the shot, tries to go around Kennedy. Back in the middle to Linden. Already has a couple of goals, looking for the hat trick. Courtnall working against Borsato. Lume shot. And Courtnall was in the right place, but he couldn't deflect it in the right direction. Kennedy didn't know where that was until the last second. Able to clear. Merzen working against Tkachuk. Jets looking a little disorganized, and now Merzen is tied up along the Jets bench, but nothing comes of it. Shot into the zone. Vaught chasing after Kennedy. Lawler beats them to it. Fires it along the boards. Canucks keeping it in the Jet zone. Semenov back to Lidster. Lidster shot deflected. Here's a chance. This is Selanne all alone. Yes!
And the hats come pouring down here at the Winnipeg Arena. Against the flow of the play, Teemu Selanne on the breakaway beats Kirk McLean. It's been all Canucks here, pressure, pressure, but watch this pass. Shannon hits Teemu Selanne in full flight, and look at this shot on Kirk McLean. How much room? Not much. And Selanne puts it under the bar. And watch Selanne take this pass. Not many guys off their feet, bouncing puck. He's able to control it. And look, heads up play right in the roof. No chance for Kirk to play.
76 goals for Teemu. Over the course of the regular season, a lock on the Rookie of the Year honors, and he now has a playoff hat trick.
And here's the end zone. Look at the heads-up play. All the good goal scorers, they watch the goaltender. Feel the puck on their stick and watch the goaltender. And Selanne watched Kirk McLean. He fell down, collapsed a little bit, and Selanne went right upstairs with it.
We mentioned before this series began that Selanne would have to have a big series if the Jets were going anywhere. Well, he's enjoying a tremendous game. As play resumes, 10:21 remaining, third period. Jets up by a pair. Jyrki Lumme brings it forward for Vancouver. Gets the shot away. Essenza makes the save with the pad. And it's cleared by the Jets into the neutral zone. Dana Merzen ahead to Lumme. Off the skate of Linden. Didn't see the pass. Linden wheeling at his own blue line. Tries to dump it in the zone. Finally does. But right to the stick of Mike Lawler. Lawler making his first start in the playoffs for the Jets in game 3. Ronning inside the blue line. Good pass to Courtnall. Courtnall tried to find Linden. Jets come away with it. Kachuk working down the left side. Merzen behind his own goal. 9:29 to play, third period. Winnipeg 5, Vancouver 2. Didick. Merzen tried to find Ronning up on the right side, but intercepted in the neutral ice area. Courtnall at the blue line has Bure with him. Ronning making a move on the left side. Didick just knocks it in. Ronning behind the net. Ronning tries to pass in front. Sergei Boughton clears along the boards. Boughton again off the boards, but right to Didick. Didick backhands it into the right corner. Selanne working against Ronning. Drops Ronning to the ice. Sergei Boughton coming out for Winnipeg. Shannon. And it's fired in by Boughton. Babbage. Ahead on the right side looking for Semenoff, but it's too far. And that is icing against the Vancouver Canucks with 8:32 to play, third period. Jets lead by 2.
First period action at the Great Western Forum. This is the Calgary Flames' Brent Ashton, who does the work to get out in front to Joel Otto, who's turned goal scorer in this series. On his second attempt, he beats Kelly Rudy, his third goal of the series, 1-0 Flames. And then just 27 seconds later on the power play, Theo Fleury picks up the loose puck. 2-0 Calgary, late first period. Jeff Reese in goal tonight for the Flames.
After that 9-4 defeat, I thought maybe we see Rob Stauber in net for the LA Kings, but that obviously was Kelly Rudy.
Face-off to the right of Kirk McLean. Canucks win the draw. Jiri Sliger out to center ice. No Canuck there. This is Teppo Numminen. Plays it off the right boards. Right to Anatoly Semenoff. His pass in front picked out by Lawler. Lawler backhands it ahead to Stu Barnes. Barnes at center ice. Tries to dump it in. Picked out by Schleger. He plays it ahead to Pavel Bure. Back to Schleger. And it's offside at the blue line.
Mike Eagles did a good job pushing off Greg Adams, pushing Adams into the zone as Eagles is taking Ty Domi's spot on this line. Eagles playing with a very sore back. Got his playoff beard going. Number of the players
of June. Face-off just outside the Jets' blue line.
Here's Jiri Sliger. It's offside. King with the hit. Look at Slager's stick. Up high on Chris King. And Kerry Fraser was in the area but didn't make a call.
Shots on goal to this point in the third period. 35-27 favor Vancouver. 8:04 to play, third period. Canucks down by 2. Olesen. Olesen now at the Canucks blue line. Passing in front, picked off by Dana Merzen. Read that perfectly. Vaught backhands it to Jyrki Lumme. Tries to clear the zone. Finally they do. Jets captain Dean Kennedy being watched by Nedved. Merzen hit there by Borsato. This is Nedved. Knocked out the puck by Tkachuk. Dana Merzen just dumps it in on the right side, and Tkachuk slaps at it.
Alexei Zhamnov's trying to run it down. It's going to be an icing call. The Canucks frustrated. We're seeing a lot of that 1-on-4 play, and you can see Zhamnov's talking over with Gord Brosiker. He thought he got to that one.
Unless the Canucks can make it happen. Trevor Linden against Eagles on the faceoff. Eagles winning it. Boughton to Housley. Housley to Zhamnov. Babbage now for Vancouver. Off the boards into the Jets zone. Housley behind Essenza. Tried to find Shannon with a pass, and that's too far. Now Babbage forced to go back after it. Diddick. And Diddick ran into the linesman. Housley just knocks it forward. Babbage to Ronning. And we're going to get a penalty.
Here goes Gerald Diddick for roughing on Alexei Zhamnov. And now the Vancouver Canuck bench is taking a few swings at Zhamnov. Sergio Momesso and Jeff Courtnall.
Actually, what they were doing was they were holding his stick. They weren't letting him loose.
Now watch Diddick right here. He takes Zhamnov in, and look at the right hand. Gives him a shot in the back of the head, and Diddick goes off for roughing.
2 minutes for roughing. Down the penalty, 13 minutes, 27 seconds.
So the Winnipeg Jets power play will swing into action, much to the consternation of Pat Quinn.
And John Paddock is telling his troops, be careful here. We've got a short-handed goal. Make sure the Canucks don't get one. You can see the power play has been very good tonight. 2 for 5, 10 shots. And not only do you have a power play opportunity, but you run 2 minutes off the clock.
Canucks very adept at scoring with a man short. Pavel Bure tied for the lead in that department with 7 goals over the course of the regular season. Shot into the corner. Robert Dirk turns and fires the length of the ice right onto the stick of Bob Essenza. Now Phil Housley coming out for the Jets. Plays it up to Olesen. Bure in the corner. Dirk around the boards. Back out to the point. Phil Housley over to Olesen. Olesen shot, and McLean makes the save, but for a split second there, it didn't look as if Kirk realized where the Canuck puck wound up.
He was afraid if Darren Shannon took a wave at this shot, tried for the tip in, and hit McLean in the pads.
Now down to Ken Daniels and an update. Ken.
Thank you, Steve. At the arena in St. Louis, some great passing by the Blues. Brendan Shanahan and Danny Felsner combined to set up Nelson Emerson, who comes out of the corner. He backhands one past Ed Belfour. His time is winding down on the Blackhawks. Third period as Emerson pays the price. 3-0. St. Louis leading Chicago. When was the last time the Blackhawks had been shut out 2 games in a row in the playoffs?
And Felsner being a factor in that series. His name was kicked around in the Joe Murphy sweepstakes when it looked like Murphy might be going to St. Louis. The Edmonton Oilers wanted Felsner, and the Blues didn't want to give him up.
Face-off in the Canucks zone to the right of Kirk McLean. Greg Adams for Vancouver. And he shoots it down the ice. Jets will come back and get organized. 1:04 remaining in the Canucks penalty. Olesen on the left side, too far for Housley. Lume for Vancouver. Plays it ahead to Craven. He couldn't control it. Thomas Steen for Davidoff. Davidoff backhands it behind the Canucks net. Out to the point to Olesen. Olesen slides it across to Housley. Housley with the shot. Blocked in front by Lume. But the Jets keep control. Olesen. Steen. Chance save save off of Tkachuk by Kirk McLean as Adams comes out with it for Vancouver. Craven. Shot high over the head of Bob Essensa. Davidoff, rink wide for Tkachuk, and he ran into Brossiker.
Keith Tkachuk has been very effective because he's played a physical game.
Tough to overlook the performance of Trevor Linden with a couple of big goals for the Vancouver Canucks to tie the game early in the second period.
And Dave Babbage has again had a strong game on the Canuck blue line.
Face-off in the Jets zone. Teppo Numminen. Lawler now coming forward for Winnipeg at his own blue line. Backhands it ahead. King winds up with it. He fires it in. Babbage for the Canucks. Long pass to Diddick. Teams at even strength. Stu Barnes. And Barnes tied up neatly by Diddick. 4:18 to play, third period. Jets in front, 5-3. Here's a chance for Bure. Bure scores! Second of the game for Pavel Bure. It is now 5-4.
And you can see there are a few Canuck fans here. Pavel Bure, the Russian rocket, shows the rockets here as he goes right through the defense. And look at Teppo Numminen and Mike Lawler. Numminen can't react in time, and that's where you have to chop the guy down. Numminen didn't bother, and Bure went in and beat Bob Essensa. And look at Numminen right here, lets Bure go. Bure fakes the shot, gets Essensa to commit himself, and then goes around wide.
Pavel Bure showing that great burst of speed that he has shown to many an opposing netminder this season, making it a one-goal hockey game. Jets on top 5-4 with 4:08 remaining to play in the third period. Kennedy flips it forward, brought in by Dana Merzen of Vancouver. Backhands it behind the net. Ronning is there, pressing in front. Shot save off of Courtnall. Big save by Bob Essensa. Tkachuk plays it with his skate. For Sato working against Courtnall. Lume finally comes up with it for Vancouver. Lume on the left side. Trevor Linden. Lume at the blue line. And finally knocked into the neutral zone. Canucks come back and regroup. 3:24 to play. A long shot wide of the mark from Tkachuk. Dana Merzen. Rink wide for Trevor Linden. Looking for the hat trick. Plays it for Courtnall. Courtnall bodied off the puck by Kennedy. Puck behind the net. Scooped up by Kennedy. Kennedy. Looking for Selanne. His next goal will be his fourth of the playoffs. Behind the net, Shannon is there. To Zhamnov. Zhamnov shot, and it goes off. Cliff running and into the stands. 2:47 to play. Winnipeg Jets lead by 1.
Both goalies have played well, but Bob Essensa with the save on Jeff Courtnall just moments ago after Pavel Bure had scored could be the game saver for the Winnipeg Jets.
And the face-off will come to the right of Kirk McLean. Puck winds up behind McLean. He moves it into the corner. Anatoly Semenov, long lead pass looking for Pavel Bure. And it's a two-liner.
And again, it was Teppo Numminen out against Pavel Bure, making sure that Bure wasn't in behind the defense. And much like Selanne, every time Bure's on the ice, you have to pay attention. All of Bure's records this year, and I thought he might get 70 goals this year, Steve. After he got his 50, he seemed to slow down. The intensity level declined. 50 seemed to be the goal, and then everything after that was gravy.
Seems foolish to say that he got himself into a rut, but that's exactly what happened. He did struggle after he hit the 50 level. Wound up with 60 on the season. This is Adams working against Mike Lawler. Semenov comes in to help out, but it's Lawler who comes away for Winnipeg. Lawler tries to dump it in off of Babbage. Jamnov fighting for it. Shannon's in there for the Jets as Jamnov comes up with it, passes in front, but there was no Jet there able to take the pass and do anything with it. Adams passing into the middle. Lawler clears. Babbage has to go back for it. 2 minutes remaining to play. Third period. Jets in front 5-4. Game number 3. Bure shot wide. He gets that shot away so quickly. Here's Eagles now. He's got King making a move. King gets the pass, but he couldn't control it. Passing in front, and nobody was home for the Winnipeg Jets. What a golden opportunity there to go in front by 2. King working in the corner. Semenov has it for Vancouver. 1:30 to play, third period. Winnipeg lead 5-4. This has been a good one. Lidster being watched by Eagles. Lume. Jets doing a good job in not letting Vancouver get organized. Now the Canucks come ahead, led by Cliff Ronning. Ronning at the blue line. Tried to leave it for Bure, and is cleared into the neutral zone. 1:03 to play. The Canucks net is empty. McLean is on the bench.
And again, the Jets do a good job standing up at the blue line, and the Canucks have to shoot it in.
Craven in against the boards. Canucks trying to come up with it. Their net is empty. This is Bure. Bure to Ronning. Ronning with a chance. And Essenza got a piece of it. Babbage. Ronning behind the net. 32 seconds to play. Third period. Ronning. Nobody to pass to. The net is open at the other end. Lume can't control it. Has to go back to his own blue line. 20 seconds to play. Canucks dump it into the Jet zone. King with a backhand. Can't clear. Babbage misfires on the shot. And Lawler plays it off the boards, and it'll go down the length of the ice. 7 seconds to play. And the Winnipeg Jets are called for icing.
And the Canucks are going to complain about this one. The clock ran down. As you said, 7 seconds left when the whistle went. Now there's 3.3 up on the clock. Home field advantage is one thing. As Pat Quinn puts on the glasses here to look at what's left.
I was keeping my eye on the puck and a half an eye on the scoreboard clock at the same time. And when I said 7 seconds, the puck was indeed touched. So they let it run 2 or 3 seconds past that time.
Those slow hands at home when you have the lead. And you look at that final. Curtis Joseph racking up another shutout. And Ken, you didn't put the hex on him. I guess it's not that long distance whammy. And the Chicago Blackhawks having trouble scoring goals.
An amazing series. Toronto's staying in it against the Red Wings. They win their first game. That's now 2-1 in favor of the Red Wings.
And there's Kerry Fraser. They're adjusting the clock here. We've gone up to, okay, we have 5. We're going to be at 5:56. 5 seconds, that is. 5.56 seconds. And Mike Lawler did a great job clearing the front of the Jet zone after Chris King with a giveaway that went right to Dave Babbage and almost ended up in the net.
The way this game has gone tonight at the arena in Winnipeg, almost anything might be expected. Very explosive. Trevor Linden exploding with a pair of goals to start the second period, and then a couple of breakaway goals, one for Borsato and one for Teemu Selanne, giving the Winnipeg Jets a 5-3 lead, and then Pavel Bure coming back to get his second of the game, third of the playoff season, to make it 5-4.
And now we have 6 seconds up on the clock, and Pat Quinn has called for a timeout. We look at Jyrki Lumme. He's got that cut on his nose when Ty Domi was ejected in the second period. And here's John Paddock talking things over with Bob Essenza, who has had a very strong game. The shots are 37-29 in favor of Vancouver. The last time that the Jets beat Vancouver, the shots were 46-22 in favor of the Canucks. And Essenza won that one.
Pat Quinn going over the strategy he would like from his troops as Kerry Fraser.
Now we've adjusted the clock again. Kerry Fraser gives the OK sign. We're down to 5.4 seconds.
And I guess that's what they've settled on. They had it up to 6. They've knocked off 0.6 of a second. We're down to 5.4. And that's what the Canucks will have to work with when this timeout ends.
And we look at John Paddock, and he's talking things over with Mike Eagles, his #1 centerman. Eagles will be out there to take this draw. And without Eagles in the first game, Paddock did have some problems with the faceoffs.
Don't forget, Game 4 goes here in Winnipeg on Sunday, and we'll have it for you.
And
if it's
now,
anything like Game 3, it'll be a dandy.
And now Trevor Linden is talking things over with Kerry Fraser, and I'm sure they're negotiating time on the clock here. It's 5.4 seconds. I don't think they're going to get any more.
Well, it was down to 3, then it went back up to 6. Now it's at 5.4, and I think that's where it's going to stay. The faceoff will come in the Jets zone to the left of Bob Essensa with 5.4 seconds remaining to play. Jets leading Vancouver 5-4. Big faceoff. Trevor Linden against Eagles. Bure back at the point for Vancouver. Courtnall on the right side. Courtnall mixing up with Newman and not going for the puck. The Jets doing a good job of freezing the puck on the boards. This one is over.
And Eagles and Linden got involved. I think Linden was going to get a penalty.
They're having difficulty separating them on the end boards. This game is over. There is no time remaining on the scoreboard clock.
And Eagles did his job. He won the draw, and then he wouldn't let Linden jump through. And Linden took exception, tried to go right over him, and it looks like calm will prevail here. Yuri Slager's trying to get involved.
Slager was mixing things up with Borsato. But they're managing to separate the players, and now the celebration begins for the Winnipeg Jets. What a terrific job they have done in defeating the Vancouver Canucks 5-4.
And there's Teemu Selanne, and for the Jets to be successful, Selanne has to perform. Well, he did tonight, and if they can just get Alexei Zhamnov going, and then they'll really be hard for the Canucks to contend with.
Selanne with the hat trick as the Winnipeg Jets defeat the Vancouver Canucks 5-4. Vancouver continue to lead the series 2-1.
Play, score, and win at Safeway.
Last time.
The game winner, Trevor Linden of Vancouver, star #2 with a couple of goals, and the third star with 3 assists, Darren Shannon. Honorable mention to Phil Housley tonight, who also picked up 3 assists as the Jets are back in this series, trailing 2-1. Our final score, the Jets 5, Canucks 4. Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC continues.
Molson Canadian Reports. Brought to you by Molson Canadian. What beer's all about.
A big 5-4 victory for the Winnipeg Jets over the Vancouver Canucks. They are back in this Smythe Division semifinal, trailing now 2-1. And they're back in it thanks to this man right here, Teemu Selanne. Congratulations, you finally passed Ty Domi in scoring.
Thank you. That's a big thing.
It is a big thing, I suppose. How big was this win for you guys tonight?
I think that was really important. That gave me a lot of more hope this series, and especially at home, it was a great feeling.
Now, we joke about you passing Ty Domi in scoring, but you took some heat, even after only 2 games, after a terrific season that you had, that you weren't putting the puck in. How much pressure did you feel?
Of course, a little bit, but I think only one man can't take so much more pressure than other players. So I think all players have to take more pressure and more responsibility if you want to win hockey games here. And I think tonight everybody we gave it what we had, and we tried our best, and we had a little bit lucky too. But you need lucky sometimes.
What was the turning point for you tonight?
I think that when we got that 5 minutes penalty, we handled that situation pretty good, and of course we did a couple more goals than Vancouver actually won, but that was enough.
And Gary Valk took some penalties early for Vancouver, and he was all over you. Your thoughts on that, and not retaliating, I guess?
Sometimes when someone wants to shadow you, it's really a little bit harder than if you can play smarter, and that's what I'm start to learn.
Well, you played pretty smart tonight. We're going to take a look at your goal that made it to 5-3, which turned out to be the game-winning goal. Tell me about it. First off, terrific pass here from Shannon.
Yeah, that was, I really like playing with Shannon. Shannon can see the ice well, and, you know.
Well, look at your heads up. I mean, you know, on that for kids to see something like that, you hit the roof of the net. You didn't look down at the puck at all. How tough is that? Obviously not for you, but for kids to get the feel on their stick.
Of course, it's a little bit tough situation, but I think most important thing is you have to decide quite early what you're gonna do. And sometimes I have a problem that I don't know what I'm gonna do, and then you can't do that so well. But I think you have to practice breakaways and penalty shots, and I'm going to try different things every practice, and you have to practice that.
Well, obviously you knew you were going high on Kirk McLean. Briefly, just one quick thought on the fans here.
Yeah, that was. Kirk McLean has been very difficult to me this year, so that's.
The fans were a big help tonight?
Oh yeah, that was unbelievable. I never believed that it was like that. I was here '89 to watch playoffs, but I didn't remember that could be like that.
Teemu, thank you, and best of luck in Game 4.
Thank you.
Teemu Selanne, as we check out other scores from around the NHL tonight. The Leafs back in their series with Detroit, winning over the Wings by a score of 4-2. St. Louis with Curtis Joseph blank Chicago.